everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm here with a playthrough of the latest from Awaken realms. This is Lords of Ragnarok, the Viking, Norse-themed follow-up to Lords of Hellas. This is a competitive area control game, but I'll be showing off the solo mode that lets you use an automa. You can actually do more than one if you like, but I'm just going to be doing a 1v1 battle. And disclaimer, they did send me a review copy of this one. And if you like the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also check out our separate streaming channel for even more content, listen to our weekly podcast, or join the conversation on our Discord. So in Lords of Ragnarok, you've got a board divided up into individual regions. Might be a little bit hard to see. This is a very big game. Individual regions, and then the regions are grouped together by color and icon into groups of lands. So like this is the green land here with 4 regions. You've got 3 purple regions and that land over there. Looks like 3 yellow regions here. You've also got Yggdrasil, this little central action disc here, which is not a region, you can't move in there. And similarly, you've got these 6 realms going around the board that you can form alliances with, but those are also not regions, you also can't move in them. And you've got oceans that your Drakkar, that your little boat here, you have one, the automa does not, can move around in to allow your units to kind of jump across it and that kind of thing. In terms of winning the game, there's 3 main victory conditions. If you fulfill any of them, you immediately win. The first one is to control 3 lands entirely all at once, which I've not gotten close to. The second one is you can build these temples on areas with shrines. They'll have, and by the way, I had to turn the board sideways because it's vertical in 2-player. They have a little icon there, so you can build a shrine there. And if you ever control 4 regions with built temples at the same time, you win. And finally, there are these big monsters around the board. To start out, I randomly got Fafnir and our boy Grendel over there. I'm Beowulf, by the way, so I'm certainly going to try to rip his arm off. And then you have a boss. In the core game, it's just Loki, but I think the expansion has more. And if you can defeat Loki, you win the game as well. But you can't face him unless you've killed at least 2 monsters in 3+ player games, or at least 1 monster in a 2-player game. So like just defeating Fafnir or just defeating Grendel would mean that Loki is up for grabs. But a lot of times you won't get to any of those 3 victory conditions. Too much stuff to try to film. There are these 5 Ragnarok condition cards, and every time that somebody chooses the build a monument action, we'll get to that in a second, you're going to check which of these have been fulfilled. And pretty much they're like things that are along the way to getting one of the victory conditions. Like this Monster Hunter one activates if at least 1 player has slain a monster. And the Great Domain one activates if at least 1 land is controlled by 1 player. So if you're like working your way towards some of those, you're going to flip them over. And once 3 of them are flipped over, it triggers Ragnarok. And that means, number 1, the game's going to be over after each player has 1 more turn. And number 2, the focus changes to controlling the most regions around Yggdrasil. So that's actually how most of my games have gone so far. I'm going to say right now, I am trash at this game. I've lost all the competitive games I've played. I've lost to the automa at the basic difficulty level twice in a row. This is my 3rd time. So, basically, if you want good strategy advice, I'd say whatever I do in this video, do the opposite if you ever get a copy and play it. Now, how the actual game goes, each player has their own little board, and they've got their own hero. I chose Beowulf, and they got Ragnar. And there's 5 heroes in the base game, and each of them has like their own automa with some different things going on. So like Ragnar is going to really try to win by building and controlling those 4 temples in 2-player, 5 temples in 3+ player. Whereas Beowulf is much better suited to killing monsters, so I'll probably try to focus on that. But yeah, you can up these attributes, which are going to help you in different ways. You can collect runes over here, which will let you spend them for different bonuses. You can put out armies. You start with a couple of them, and each of them can have between 1 through 6 strength value, and then they lose it as they fight and as monsters eat them, and all kinds of fun things. You also have these combat cards that are used when you hunt a monster, which is how you try to kill them, or when you go into battle. And for the automa, you have, this is one that David Turtzi and his team have done for like a bunch of games, like Sniper Elite had it, where you have some kind of randomizer with 1 through 3, and 3 out of 6 times you're going to get this one, 2 out of 6 times you're going to get this one, 1 out of 6 times you're going to get this one, 1, 2, 3. So you have some, sense of probability that the leftmost action is the one that will usually get selected. And a big thing you do at the end of your turn, kind of the most powerful thing you do, is called a special action. Players are going to put their little control discs on actions to take them. These are also keyed to some of the realms, so if you've formed alliances with those realms, the first time somebody picks that action, you get a bonus from it. You can't do an action you've already done, so I can't put like another blue on usurp, but a different player could do it, although they have to let the other person get a free rune. But eventually, this thing's going to fill up with action tokens. And anytime you have at least one of your actions on there, you can instead choose to do the build monument action. It's going to put feet and bodies and heads on these cool statues, going to make them stronger if you put priests on them. It also clears away all of these tokens, so you can start filling again, brings more monsters out, refreshes a lot of things. But those are kind of like the big broad strokes of the game. I'll walk through in the first few rounds of the play, like how the automa turn and the player turn actually goes. And just to kind of lay out how things are looking at first. The automa randomly ended up here, Ragnar, with their 2 1-strength dudes. And they're in control of that place. Ooh, and I'm actually in control of mine. To take control of a place initially, you look at the population value, which was 2 for each of us. And if the total value of your armies in that region equals or exceeds that, then you get control of it. And then you could theoretically walk away and you wouldn't lose control unless somebody comes and invades you. So yes, we've each got control of our respective places. I'm over here. I'm Beowulf. I kind of want to fight monsters, so I sort of wanted to be between the 2 starting ones. Also, I got a random bonus card at the start. Well, you get 2 and you pick one. I picked one that lets me control a monster. So I think I'm going to go after Grendel first for hunting, and also he's kind of closer to the other guy, so he might attack them. So I made Fafnir my buddy, which is good because Fafnir can like totally demolish your armies. The bad part is that he's really far away from Ragnar's blue people over here, so he might not help me very much. And Loki's up here. He just blocks you from going into places for now. He doesn't really do anything else nasty. But yeah, let's jump in. The automa always takes the first turn, and we'll walk you through kind of step by step how that goes. Now, the phases we're going to go through for the automa are basically identical to the player phases with some variations, as you might expect. So first you have the prayer phase. You can send a priest to one of the monuments, which means you're going to put it in one of these slots here if it's free, and that'll permanently boost one of your attributes. You can't see them yet because there's no feet there, but this is Thor's one, Odin's is over to the upper left, Freya's is to the upper right. And then the next ability in prayer is you can pick up runes in a region with a hero or an adjacent one for the follower. That's the automa. And sorry, I did forget to put down the starting desolation token. This is an extra loss condition for the player when facing automa. They're supposed to be like a follower of Surtur, the giant fire guy from Muspelheim, who's going to destroy Midgard or Asgard or all of them. So he puts out these desolation tokens with some of their actions, and if you ever get 5 out at once, you lose the game. And they're also going to help the automa win Ragnarok if you go to that step. So you can get rid of them by moving units in there and then like using an activation to dispel the bad token, I guess. But yeah, that's getting ahead of ourselves. All right, so I mentioned the automa can pick up a rune. You'll see, here's one. You have these forges in some regions, and it's randomized which type they are. There's 3 different icons, 3 different like letters or runes. And they match up with runes on certain monsters. They match up with the runes on the realms you can ally with. And you can discard runes for different like rune actions. Now, normally for a player, if their hero was in the exact region with a forge, they could pick it up at the start of their turn. For the automa, they can do it up to 1 region away, but right now they don't have that ability, so they don't get anything. The next phase is the hero moving, and this is for the player. They can move their hero up to 2 or their boat up to 2 or heal an injury on their hero, which we'll see later. For the automa, they only ever move their hero. They don't have a boat, they don't have a Drakkar, and they don't take injuries. And they auto-teleport based on the card they've selected as their active one. And sorry, I should have actually rolled the die at the start of their turn. So, as expected, 50% of the time, they're going to do their first card, which up here says Region 12, Region 9. The smaller one is for the 2-player map, bigger one for the 3-player map if you're using multiple automa or using them like in a multiplayer game. So he's going to teleport to the 9th region. And those are these numbers over here. So yeah, he's going to hang with Loki. I see your true colors, Ragnar. Okay, and then he's going to try to do rune actions. Up to 2 of them. The player can only do 1 on their turn. Going left to right, looking at their cards. And they ignore their active card for the rune actions. And then they do the first 2 that they can like effectively do and that they have enough to pay for. In this case, Ragnar's starting special ability to start with 4 runes, so he can probably do a lot. So first he's going to try to control a monster. And the rune actions the automa, the follower, can take tend to be the same as the player ones, except they usually have like a range adjacent to themselves. So he can't control somebody only in his space. He can also control somebody adjacent, but he can't control a monster that somebody else already controls. I already got Fafnir, and clearly he can't control Loki. But there is an exception to the adjacency rule for a follower's first monster, because they want the follower to get a monster pretty easily. They can do it no matter where they are if they don't have a monster yet. So they're going to go ahead and get Grendel. And this is a 1 rune action, so they have to spend 1 of their 4 runes. And normally it has to be like a rune that matches the monster's specific rune. So Grendel likes the sort of like Y tree kind of thing here, and not the N. But for the automa, they treat all of their runes as wild, so it doesn't matter. So they've got him. The big thing that means, in case you're wondering what control is, basically when the monster activates, only they can activate the monster. And when the monster is randomly activated by an event, which happens when you do the build monument action to clear things out, then they get to control like whether the monster moves to attack you or uses their special attack if they're already in your space. Whereas if it was neutral, you'd roll a die and like they might move, they might attack, different things might happen. Okay, now their next one is draw combat cards. And all actions are 1, 2, or 3 runes. This is the same for the player, except for the player, they have to be different types. Again, the automas are all wild. So to draw combat cards is a 2 rune action, and they're going to draw equal to their wisdom value, which is the rightmost attribute, a tree. Everything starts at 2 except for the automa. They get 1 that starts at 3, which is authority in this case, used for recruiting armies more quickly because, again, they're trying to, with Ragnar, conquer a lot of land and build temples. So they're going to get 2 more random combat cards at the cost of 2 runes. They're down to 1 now. Normally for players, the max number of combat cards and the max number of runes they can hold is equal to their current wisdom. Is that what I said it was? Wisdom track, which is 2 for the automa, but they can have up to 6 runes, so they can just fill the entire thing, and they can have up to 8 combat cards. But wisdom is still going to limit how many they can like actually use in a fight, so it's not as wacky as it seems. All right, after they've done 1 or 2 rune actions, and if they can't do any, they get a free rune, they're going to do a maneuver. This basically means you either build up one of your armies or move it to attack. And the follower uses this concept of invadable regions. And invadable means they only look at 1 army. There are ways for the player to move multiple armies kind of in tandem with each other or together. They look at the highest strength of their armies, in this case 1, and they basically ask themselves, could that army move adjacent and take over any of the regions? And for unoccupied regions, again, to actually control it, you need to have army strength at least equal to the population. So like if they had a 2 army instead of a 1, they could come in here and take it over. And there's a different calculation for invading player spaces. It's kind of based on like how many combat cards the automa will be able to play, because those are used in combat to help you win battles. But yeah, so in this case, they can't invade anything next to them. So what they'll do is they'll increase 1 army by 1 strength. So now they've got a 2. Which means next turn, instead of increasing one of their armies, they'll actually go in here and conquer that. Now, the player has a similar choice, and they can also build up their armies, but they have to be in a region with a settlement, which is sort of this sideways house icon you see here. The follower does not have that same restriction. They're technically in a place that can hold a shrine. Ooh, they're happy about that. Ragnar is, with his goals. So they could build a shrine here. Normally, a player could not build up their armies here, but again, the follower does not have that restriction. Okay, now finally, the last step of the turn for the follower, and it's the same thing for the player. So actually, when we get to the player's turn, a lot of this won't be as confusing, is to pick a special action. And their first preference is the action indicated on the card they roll, which in this case is prepare. If that one's not available because they've already taken it this round, or it won't have an effect, which is determined in different ways, then the next one they'll look at is the action that their current hero prefers, which is build temple. That's their priority action. So here, if they couldn't prepare, they would try to build a temple. And if they had already built a temple, like they already had one of their things there, or they couldn't build a temple yet, then that's when they would build up the monument and clear everything off. So they'll sometimes like do 3 or 4 or 5 special actions before they clear the monument. They'll sometimes do it really quickly. But here they are indeed taking a prepare action, and for the player, they get to pick like 2 choices. They can build up their armies, draw combat cards, get runes. In the follower's case, it's a lot more simple. They always get 2 combat cards, and they get runes equal to their wisdom trait, which is currently 2. So they're back up to 3. Now, some of their upgraded action cards, which they'll get into later, you kind of like build their automa deck based on who their leader is and what their preferences and stuff. Some of those cards will have like a bonus here. This one does not. By the way, you also see this max down here, whatever their active card. This will be like the tiebreaker, using the highest or lowest, max or min province, region value to determine where they go and do stuff. This card also has an X. It is a starter card. It's not very good. They want to get rid of it. So this is trash forever. If it didn't have that icon, you would shuffle it back into the automa's deck after you refill. So what you do is you slide all the cards down so that these cards are now more likely to happen. And you draw the top card of their deck, which is another starter one for reinforcing. So they'll most likely mobilize next turn, which means building up and attacking with their armies. Somewhat good chance they'll build a temple, which is also Ragnar's priority action. And very small chance they'll reinforce, which means just bring out a new army. And again, this action is trash, so we're never going to see this one again. All right, and that is it. That was one turn for the automa. It should go a little bit more smoothly. Now I'll explain more actions and things as we go. But let's get to me, Beowulf. By the way, to show my special ability, each hero has a different one. I'm Beowulf the Berserk. If you don't know Beowulf, he's the Geat who ripped off Grendel's arm, fought Grendel's mother, angered a dragon in his old age, all the good stuff. So his special ability is when he's dealt an injury, which is usually going to happen when he's fighting monsters, he gets to draw a combat card, which is going to make it easier for him to finish off the monster. So he is a monster fighter. He is a Grendel killer. And when in a land with Beowulf, you may deal yourself one injury, so he can actually hurt himself on purpose before a hunt or a battle starts. So he can get an extra combat card if he's willing to hurt himself. What injuries do is they flip over one of your attribute traits. And when they're flipped, they have a little 2 on it. And guess what? That means that your trait is 2 no matter what it's currently at, which doesn't hurt at all when you're actually at 2, but can suck when you're at like 4 or 5 or 6. Now, my turn, the player turn, is going to follow the exact same progression that the automa turn did. I'm going to send a priest if I have one. I'm going to get a rune if I'm on one of those forges. Now I have a choice for hero. They just teleport. I'm going to heal my hero or move them up to 2 regions or move the boat up to 2 regions. I can do 1 rune action. Remember, the automa can do 2, and mine are slightly different. I can maneuver. This is exactly the same as the automa. I can build up 1 army or move them 1 space, and then I get to pick a special action. So it's really very similar. So I have no priest to send to a monument yet. You're going to get a priest, by the way, by building up those shrines and then controlling regions with shrines, whether you built them or not, when you call the build monument action. Okay, and the second step in the prayer phase is to see, am I on a forge? No, I am not. I don't get the bonus of being adjacent to one to gain runes, so I get nothing. Okay, next I get to move my hero. I didn't talk about this too much yet, but this is pretty important. First of all, as we've already discussed, if your hero gets to a forge, you can pick up the rune there. If your hero gets to monsters, they can fight them. If your hero is adjacent to realms that match runes you have, you can ally with those realms. And again, the first time a matching action is called, so like the first time somebody mobilizes, if I was allied with Vanaheim, you get whatever the bonus is. So here, gain a rune of your choice. So let's see, I kind of want to be a jerk at the beginning of the game. So anytime you move an army or a hero, you can jump across your Drakkar if it's adjacent and like kind of treat 2 regions adjacent. So I can go here for 1 move. By the way, heroes aren't stopped by like Loki blocking a region. They aren't stopped by enemy armies. They can just go where they want. And 2, this is the place that the enemy was literally just about to invade on their next turn. Then we have the rune action phase. I sadly have no runes, so not going to do anything there. Next is the maneuver phase. I could attack with one of my armies or just move it somewhere. They're not strong enough to do much right now, and since I am on a settlement, remember the player needs to be on a settlement to add strength to an army. The follower does not. I'm going to go ahead and bump up one of my 2 people here to a level 2. So now I've got 3 strength there total. And finally, I get to pick my special action. I'm going to show you one called Usurp, and I'm going to be a little bit annoying. This also might totally be useless. Remember, like I said, bad at this game. Mike's not good. But how Usurp works is you look at where your hero is and how their might attribute, which is currently 2, because that's the starting attribute for everything, compares to either the population value there, or if it's an enemy-controlled place, the total army strength there. And if your might is equal to or greater, which in this case it is, 2 might versus 2 population, you take control of that bad boy for free. You just exert your authority, and you get to recruit a free army there equal to your authority attribute, which for me is also 2. So I have taken that place that blue is about to go into, and I have also gotten a free army there. Now, this is, again, potentially a terrible idea because you need to retreat. You need to withdraw if you're defeated in combat to another location you control, or the army just dies completely automatically. And my Drakkar is over here, so I can't even use like water retreating. So yeah, if they attack me here next turn, which there's a decent chance they will, then if I lose the battle, that army's just dead. But, whatever. It might work out. I thought it was kind of fun to be annoying. And I really wanted to get like down here to that rune. I'd love to form an alliance with Muspelheim, because that's keyed to the monster action. And if I'm going to fight monsters a lot as Beowulf, then I might want to get that bonus. We'll see how things go. And with that, we're back to the follower. Oh, and they didn't get a 1. Whoops. They got to build temple, which is good for them and their their victory conditions. So first they do the prayer phase. They're going to send a priest. They don't have one. They're going to try to get a rune for them within 1. Looks like they are, right? Yeah, so Loki's here. Yep, this place is adjacent, so they're going to get that rune. Then their hero's teleporting to space 5. Oh, which, good lord, is like right where my dudes are. Hi, go away, please. Okay, now they're going to do rune actions. First, they want to try to control a monster. Currently, both monsters are in control, so that's not going to happen. They want to draw combat cards. They will always do that if they're not at 8 yet. So they're going to spend 2 runes, and they'll draw equal to their wisdom 2, so they're at 7. Okay, and we skip over that one. They're going to try to form an alliance. And again, their range is farther than mine. I have to be next to the place I want to form an alliance with, and I have to have the specific rune. They can do it with any rune, and they have to be within 2 regions, basically. Like if they are adjacent to a region that is then adjacent to a realm, then they're good to go. But in this case, they're not. Yeah, they're too far away from all realms. They can't take advantage of that. So the last option is to upgrade an army, because they want to do 2 of these things. That costs them 2 runes, and they're going to boost up one of their army's strength by 1. And they usually prefer to make like 1 army a total beat stick, so they're going to raise them up to 3. And yeah, I feel like I might die here. Then they get into their maneuver step, and this time they can attack. They've got a guy with 3 power, and actually 2 places are invadable. This one up here has a 3, so they're fine for that. And for my places, it's a bit more complicated. Now, the actual like strength of the place is 2, my army's value there. So they're going to, depending on their priorities, prefer to attack here. In this case, yes, they do want to attack there. Actually, Ragnar prefers first places that like already have temples built or a shrine where they could build a temple, but that doesn't really apply here. But yeah, when they're going to attack a player, they also consider like how many combat cards they have and lots of other things because a battle is actually going to happen. But long story short, they're coming in here. We kind of thought they might. All right, so they've got tons of combat cards, but in the actual game, wisdom, as I've said, is the maximum number of cards you can use. So you take a subset of their cards equal to their wisdom, just 2. And those are the only ones they can use in the combat. And remember Beowulf's power. I'm going to injure myself here. I don't think I'm going to raise authority anytime soon. And that'll let me draw another combat card. And that's because Beowulf is in the same land as the combat. Heck, he's in the same region. And how combat works is you're going to take the battle strength of the armies. So I've got a 2, he's got a 3. You're going to play combat cards, and this value here is going to get added to your strength. The automa, the follower, is going to play them randomly. And then whoever has the highest total at the end of the battle is going to stay there. The other person has to withdraw if they can, or in my case, die. And ties go to the defender. So defender also plays a card first. Once you pass, you are passed out. So, oh gosh, I have 2 of the exact same card. Jarl. Okay, so it's a 3 value. This stuff up here is for hunt. Same thing with like the sword up here that's used to attack the monsters. Okay, so it's a 3, gain +1 battle value if your authority is equal to or higher than your opponent's. Unfortunately, that's the one stat that Ragnar started with a 3. So this is just a 3 for me. It also has these symbols down here. These are casualties. The follower ignores all that stuff. They basically just care about the number. They're not going to look at the special text. They're not going to look at the casualties. But what this one means is basically, even if I win the fight or lose the fight, I'm going to lose 1 number from my unit there. But here's the thing. I'm like 99% sure I'm going to lose the fight, right? So let's go ahead and give myself a +3. So I'm now at 5. I don't get the extra +1. So 5 to 3, and they play their first card, which is a bow. And I'm not paying attention to the casualty. I'm not paying attention to the archer ability. They just have a +1. So I'm winning. And do I really want to play another combat card? I mean, win or lose, their army's going to take 1 damage. If they do win after my person runs away, or in this case can't and dies, they do still have to check if they are equal to or greater than the population. So like, they're a 3, they're going to be fine. But if I had beaten them down to a 1, then they would come in and actually not be able to hold that place on their own yet. But yeah, if they play another 1, I'll win the tie. If they play a 2 or a 3, I'll lose. If I play my 3, I'll have 2 casualties, so I'll be dying anyway. You know what, whatever. Let's just say I pass. And they will stop playing cards if they run out. They'll also stop playing cards if they're already winning and I've passed. But here, right now, it is still 5 to 4. Hey, awesome. Okay, so they play that and they still don't win. I love that result. So their combat cards and mine get discarded. They have to retreat back. They take 1 damage automatically. And for a player, you take 1 damage to each of your armies that was involved if you're the loser, and then 1 for each casualty you suffered. So I go down to a 1 from that. So it seems like they'll probably be back. But we got them to waste 2 combat cards for only 1 of ours. And now they still have to take their actual special action, which remember was build a temple. So build temple as easy as can be. They have to control a place that could have a temple. And then they build it. And there are up to 5 of them in the game. And they come from this little card, by the way. They have plastic standee holders for them, but I'm not using those. And depending on when you build temples, you get this little blessing draft that will give the player an ongoing ability and give, I think this is way better for the automa than the player, give the automa like a +1 to all their battles for the rest of the game. Yikes. But for the moment, build temple doesn't do much except get them 1/4 of the way to win the game. But the big thing is they do get a priest, which means at the start of their next turn, they'll be able to put the priest on one of the monuments and permanently increase one of their attributes. Yikes. All right, and no other special text. This is a trashed one, which means the reinforce moves down. And now they've got an upgraded one. So these are, again, based on the hero. So there's a reinforce action with an upgrade army special ability. And this is one of those special things I mentioned. If the follower has an army with a value of 5 or more, it draws 3 combat cards. So it's generally going to reward them for already being really good at something. But yeah, they are very likely to be army focused next turn. Either mobilize, which will activate all of their armies, or reinforce and bring in a new one. All right, now it's back to me. I have no priests. I have no runes. I can't pick them up because I'm not on the right spot. So what I will do, I want to get an end to ally with Muspelheim. So I'll go 1, 2 here, which means I'll grab that at the start of my next turn, unless the AI beats me there. Then I have no rune actions because I have no runes. All right, but maneuvers. I kind of want to build my own temple to get some priests going. So let's up this guy who's next to that one there. Then for my special action, we saw that the most likely action for the follower is mobilize. I'm going to do it first because then if they go on top of me, I get to get a free rune of my choice. And mobilizes means you activate every single one of your armies exact same way as normal, so they can move or build up. So this guy will build up to a 2. This guy over here, since he's on a settlement, will build up to a 2, ready to defend. And my 3 will move in here, which means I now control this spot and can build a temple there in the future, which is probably what I'll do next turn, unless something makes me not. All right, follower, what you up to? Oh, once again, they're not doing what I expected. Okay, so they can place a priest. And each person has like a priority. So Ragnar cares more about authority, which is going to get him more and bigger armies. In fact, with this reinforce action he's about to do, it's going to get him a very big army, as you'll see. And then might, and then his wisdom is one he cares the least about. And how it works is he'll do his highest priority one if it's within one of, I think, like the next lower one. So in this case, he's not like so far ahead of might and wisdom that he cares. So he'll just boost up his authority to 4, which means his priest is praying to Odin over here. Not that you can tell it's him because he's not built it all yet. And can he grab any runes? No, but he's going to teleport to space 1, which is right near where I am. Hey. Oh, wait, that's not me. I'm over there. Next, he wants to do up to 2 rune actions, but he owns no runes, so he gets a free one. What a little cheater. Then he does maneuvers, and to determine if he's going to attack, so his biggest army is a 2. We know that he can't go there. Now, for the player, he has to beat my strength, which is currently a 2, but he's adding to his highest army value to the fact that he has, up to his max wisdom currently, 2 combat cards, so that's a 4. So he's coming right back to say hi again. And he can play up to 2 combat cards. Should I use mine? Save it for fighting monsters later? Whatever. Let's go up to 5 strength again. And then he's going to play his first card. It's a 2, so he's not winning yet. Oh my gosh. Somehow we tied him again. You suck. So I did take 1 casualty from my Jarl card that I played. He took 1 casualty because you always do when you fight. And get out of my house, boy! Now, I'm loving this because it's keeping his combat card total not crazy. I do not think I'm going to get lucky again because he has taken the reinforce action. That's one he chose, which brings out a new army where he has a settlement. For the player, they can also bring it out next to their boat and like immediately attack. And it's equal to his authority stat, which he just raised to 4. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop that onslaught. All right, that's another trashed card. Bye-bye. And, oh, they got a monster action they might call later, although, again, mobilizes most likely. That brings me over to my boy Bay. Still have no runes, huh? Oh, wait. Nope. I do. Ha-ha. And I think I can do what I want to do, which is move 2 next to Muspelheim. And for my rune action, I will pay the matching rune, which means I form an alliance with them. And when you're the first one to form an alliance with a given realm, you get a free combat card, so I'm ready to fight again. Then we get to maneuver again. Do I actually care about that guy? Nah, the 4 is going to clearly destroy him. So let's raise up my 2 to a 3 here. I can't do the one on a temple and try to like maybe get him invading. These big 5 spaces that are next to the like prayer places, those are keyed to the monument. And if you go in there, then you get an artifact. So like if I go here, I'll get Thor's hammer, which will let me get a free combat card every once in a while. So it's nice to invade those. This one can also have a temple. And I can also destroy the desolation there, theoretically. All right, now for my special action. Unfortunately, I'm going to give them a rune because I'm going on top of one they've already done. But I'm going to build a temple. And hopefully they won't build the monument. Then I can do it and get some extra priests. Now, this is the temple. Now, this is the second temple, so it is going to trigger a draft of blessings. Well, let's not forget that I get a free priest. Now, the blessing draft works is I get to look at one more than the number of player cards. I get to pick one, and then the next player would pick one. But for the automa, they just pick a random one. And it's pretty much a +1 to all their combats forever, which I think is better than any of the actual abilities on these. But hey, I'm not the one who balanced this thing. So let's see. Victory Feast. After you hunt, heal 1 injury. That's pretty good against monsters to save me time in fighting them. When applying casualties, spend 1 rune to ignore 2 chosen casualties. That's a great ability too. When you win your first battle during your card, charge 1 of your artifact cards. That's a little bit more niche. I'm going to go for the one that matches the strategy I'm going for and get Victory Feast. And the automa just gets a random one. Again, it's just a bonus for the rest of their combats for the rest of the game. And all right, that's it. A pretty quick special action. What's the automa going to do? Gosh, they really can't roll a 1, can they? So oh god, they're going to bring out another giant army? Stop it. All right, so they don't have any priests to put out. They definitely can get a rune. I'm going to teleport back to space 5. That's my home place. You here? Hello? And they've got 2 runes for rune actions. Control monster. Everyone's controlled. Draw combat cards. They'll definitely do. And since they performed at least 1 rune action, that'll be it. So they're just getting 2. Thank god their wisdom is low. All right. And then, yeah, this level 4 is definitely going to attack me. I'm the easiest one there. Hi. Bringing 2 combat cards with him. I've currently got 1. Gain +1 battle value if the battle is in a land with your hero. Oh, and +2 if I'm in the Hey, look at that! I'm right there. I'm going to give him a +4 for 1 card. I wasn't sure if I was going to play anything, but now I definitely am, so sure. So I'm up to a 5. 1 more than them. I mean, I'm going to take a casualty and be dead, but that's going to happen anyway. So hopefully I get them to use 2 cards. Like the first one is a 1. Nope. Okay, so they are beating me by a lot now. Oh, that's right. They get +1 from their blessing. So they were actually a 5 strength to start. So if I hadn't gotten it to 5 to at least tie them, they wouldn't have even played any cards. So I wasted a card for them to use a card. I mean, that's maybe not the most valuable thing in the world. They go down to 3 strength, but they are overjoyed because they still have enough strength to control this place. Otherwise, we would have gone back to like being unaligned if they were down to 1 strength. Oh, and yes, I could have heard Beowulf to get me another combat card. That seemed like a bridge too far to me. But man, I sure slowed them down for a while. That's only the second place they've gotten control of. Oh, but crud, I just realized. So they're going to build the monument before I can and like mess up my plans. Because first they prefer to do the card they roll, which is reinforce, but they've already done that, so they can't. Their next preference is their priority 1, which is build temple. They can't do that. Their third preference is prepare. Whoops, they've done that. So they are building a monument. So their main stat they like is Odin's 1 for authority. So they're going to go to build his lower body up in here. Wah! And their priest does come out of there, so like the spaces are available again. So take that. And now that this is a level 1 monument, going there will not only give them +1 authority, but would also let them increase one of their armies by 1. And now we're going to check Ragnarok. Nobody controls an entire land. They're 1 away with blue. Nobody's killed a monster. There are 2 built temples. He's at 4 authority, not 5, and no monument is fully built. So we are not close to Ragnarok yet. Number 3 of those will trigger it. Okay, now as I said, the priest comes away, and very important, the priest goes back in your supply, so not like priests you can use, which are called in your pool. So you're going to have to get new priests. You don't get to reuse the ones you've already used. All of these fun things come off, so everything's available again. If any of us had artifacts, we would get to recharge them and use them again. All of the forges refresh and get new stuff. And then whoever actually called the action gets a big bonus. The first one is for each temple they actually control, they get an immediate priest. So they'll be able to do some stuff next turn and raise up their stats. And then for each forge area they control, they get the token on it for free, which is none right now. And finally, you resolve an event, which is going to spawn a new creature potentially. In this case, it's going to be Huldra. Because when you set up the game, you put the ones with the same rune, like this kind of N rune here, in a top, like down random orientation, and the topmost one will come out first. Huldra is an interesting one in that she's kind of friendly. When she attacks a region, she actually lets you build up your armies instead of hurting you. And she comes out in region 8. Jeez, this is like Monsterville over here. She's also the easiest one on the board to kill right now. She's got 6 life. Grendel's got 7. Fafnir has 8. So if I want to go towards Loki, maybe I attack her. Okay, then you get to monster activation. Since the automa is the one who built the monument, they're going to be the one who like kind of determines this to an extent. So you activate all the monsters with this symbol, which is none of them have spawned yet. Then all the ones with this, which is everybody, Grendel and Fafnir. And then this means you're going to move Loki. You draw another event card and move him to the indicated region. So Grendel's activating first. Since they control Grendel, they get to pick whether Grendel attacks or moves. If nobody controlled me, you would roll the die. 1/3 is attack, 1/3 is move, 1/3 is choice. And they just want to hurt me as much as possible. So Grendel's attack is he just wants to kind of kick you out, sort of like Hrothgar's Hall in the story. He just kicks all the armies out of a region and takes away the control there. And then the other option that's available is to move one region. And if you move into a place with armies, you get to stomp one and take away one of their strength. So I'm not with Grendel. I think he just moves one towards me. Hello. And then I get to activate Fafnir. He would do 2 damage to an army in his space, but I don't want to move and hurt myself. So instead, he'll just move this way and not hurt me. Yeah, I mean, again, controlling him just means he's not attacking me, which is in a way good. And then, like I said, Loki moves to 14, which just means that I can't move armies or place armies in there. The automa is immune from that. And Loki is up in this blue place. There we go. All right, so that is it. Back to my turn. And I have my first priest to place. I could place them on Odin and actually get a bigger bonus, but I really want might. That's like the main stat for fighting monsters. So that's going to raise me up to 3. And might, you already saw, is used to usurp. You need to equal or exceed the army strength or population there. But it's also used when you take the hunt action against monsters. You get to draw your might value in free combat cards to fight them with. Oh, wait, I did forget. Yeah, so this bonus didn't apply. They didn't have any armies with 5 or more. This card is trash. The monster one goes down. And they've got to prepare. This is the first one that is going to get shuffled back into their deck, so it could come up time and time again. If the follower controls at least 3 regions with temples, no, it increases the value of all its armies by 1. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I did my priest thing. I can move my hero. Kind of, sort of want to come here and fight Grendel. But I have 0 combat cards right now, so I should probably get some of those first. So to that end, I think I'll come over here and get... Oh, that's right, I don't get the rune yet, but get it in a second. And yeah, I have no runes, so I don't get a rune action. Okay, then for my maneuver, I'm going to raise these guys up to 4. So they could go capture that one, although it's just a settlement and I'm not trying to control everything. Or if they can raise up one more time, they can go here, get Thor's hammer. That would definitely be great. And for my special action, nothing sexy about it, but I'm going to take the prepare. I will draw a combat card. And I can get a rune or heal an injury, which I might take more of, and I am hurt already. And then that would give me more injury space to use my Beowulf power, and then my Victory Feast could heal me again. Sure, I think I'll do the rune. Now, if I get a rune, I could, I can get one that's not the N, because you need to have different types. Sorry, you can see it, but there's an N right there. Can you still not see it? And I could use 2 different types of runes to get another combat card, but I can also just heal my injury. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take this option. You can also heal an injury by just not moving with your hero. So I'll try to get a second combat card in a second. I'll go fight Grendel. I'll get 3 more combat cards for my might. Then, like, he attacks, you get to defend. You'll see it's a whole thing. But first, let's see if this person can finally roll a 1. Hey! Although now maybe I don't want them to, because Mobilize is going to be pretty strong now that they got 3 armies. So, they're going to put a priest down. And now they actually, this is interesting, they will not increase their authority because it is more than 1 away from the next closest stat. So they'll go to their second one, which is might. They're going to the same Thor one I went to, and all they get is an extra might. Which honestly is kind of okay with me, because they're not necessarily going to use it for much. Do they pick up a rune? Yes, indeed they do. Okay, and then they teleport to space 7. It's over here in Randoville. Oh, wait a second. They were not next to that rune at all. That was definitely one of their army people. So they don't get any rune. They do teleport to 7. Then because they have no runes, they get a free one, but can't do a rune action. And mobilizing their injured dude can still come over here and capture that space. But it's not a temple, and it's not the last blue one. They have 1 more where I am, so it's okay right now. And finally, they're going to call it mobilization. So these weenies can only level up. Oh, and actually, this guy can't go anywhere either. I mean, he can't attack anywhere, so he's going to level up to a 4, which is meaningful because anytime they take a mobilize special action and don't attack anybody, then they get to place one of these desolation tokens, and they prefer to put them around Yggdrasil. And they want one that they control first, which is right here. So now this place, these are like kind of double valuable if Ragnarok happens, because Ragnarok, remember, only cares for how many places you control next to the tree, but they also count as having an extra controlled space for each of these desolation tokens out. So like if we went to Ragnarok right now, I would have 0 locations controlled, and they would have 1 for their actual control, 2, 3. they would win the game clearly. All right, no extra bonuses. That's another trashed one. They're probably going to use a monster action, which would send a monster against me next time, or prepare or reinforce. But hey, I can monster all by myself. I'm going to take this N rune. And then, hello, Grendel. All right, now I could control that, but now let's go for the 5, especially since they're about to get up to 5, and go in there, get Thor's hammer, get rid of some desolation. Hopefully they don't kill me. We'll see how it goes. And for my action, you know it, you love it, we're doing some monsters. And because I have an alliance with Muspelheim, I get to put down a level 1 army in any of my controlled regions. What the hey, we'll get it over here toward the center. So let's show you what hunts look like. I'm going to use Beowulf's ability to injure myself since I've got the victory feast anyway. All right, so now we're getting into the actual hunt against Grendel. Let's go. And I'm not going to be able to finish him off, but it'll probably take like another hunt to hurt him, but hopefully we get at least like 3 or 4 of these filled. So I first draw more combat cards equal to my might, and here I can go above my wisdom hand limit, so I can get up to 5 here. And now I'm mainly looking at the icons up here and the special abilities at the top, which tend to be pretty repetitive, so it's not like you're going to have to look at everything and read it a ton every time. And then normally another player would control the monster and would get 2 monster attack cards to start. The 2 still happens because one of the ways the hunt can end is if you go through the entire like monster attack deck, but they just pick one of them at random, and this is the first thing that happens now, so we're going to face this monster attack. All right, it is a vicious attack. So this is, I think it's called the rage value. It's how much I have to block by discarding combat cards from my hand. If I don't choose not to or don't or not able to, then I suffer 1 injury. And if my hero's might is lower than 4, the monster draws 2 more cards because the last card they played is going to tell how many cards they draw the next time, which again is going to accelerate how quickly you get to the end of the fight. So the monster's drawn 4 cards. I can block with a 2. The value here is how much you need to reach with the combat cards you play added to the wisdom that your character has. And if you reach this value, you're going to draw 2 cards after the monster attack. If you don't reach that value, you're going to draw 1. So looking at what I have and what Grendel needs. I got a spear. He needs 3 of those. Sword. Totally useless. A shield. Shields have 2 things. So they're only a value 1, but the values don't matter for the hunt. Well, the values do matter for the blocking. But a shield says you can use this to defend from a monster attack. But not if it says special attack, which this one doesn't. If you do, don't check the weak spot value. That's what this is called. So basically, you'll always draw 1 card after blocking with a shield, but it doesn't matter what the rage value is. You always block it. But you don't, like, even if you have a really high wisdom, you won't get to the weak spot bonus draw. But then the other thing that shields are good for is that pretty much every other regular weapon except a bow has this ability. Instead of dealing a wound with the sword, you may use it with the shield to deal any type of wound. So kind of like 2 cards become a wild. The bow is special ability. If you play this card to deal a wound to a monster, you draw a combat card and discard a card from your hand. I do have 1 bow spot there, and I got another shield. Jeez, so no spears and no like cross knives, which are the best ones. If you go on these spots here, by the way, then you get an immediate bonus. So like runes here, +1 to one of my army's strength, a priest, which would be great. And then if you do all the ones that don't, so when all 3 of them are covered, you get the artifact tied to that monster. So in this case, Grendel's arm, which would allow me to usurp no matter what the strength of the place I want to usurp is. Not really important for my strategy, but it's cool. So first I got a block, and since I can't really get to the value I don't want to get to anyway, I'm just going to use a shield to block. So his vicious attack doesn't happen. This card is discarded along with the other card that they drew. And now they're going to draw 4 more cards for next time. I keep them face down for now. And because I didn't reach the weak point value, or in this case I couldn't because I played the shield, I'm going to draw a single extra card. Ooh, and there we go. I got a spear. Awesome. So now I can play as many things as I want. And let's see. So I could go like spear. Well, you know what? Let's do the bow first. So I'm going to cover this with my control marker. The control markers matter because if a individual player deals at least 4 damage to a monster, even if another player finishes it off, they still also count as having helped defeat that monster, which will then qualify them to fight Loki or whatever. So I'm getting a rune of my choice. Now let's go for the Y one. I feel like I don't see as many of those. And then I get to draw a card and discard a card. Because, ooh, an axe? He doesn't need any axes. Darn it. Yeah, so I've got swords and axes and all these things. All right, whatever. Let's throw away the axe, I guess. All right, so at this point, what's the most I could do? I could do spear on 2 of the spear spots. Then I could do sword and shield. Yeah. All right, let's do this. I'm going to do a spear and a spear. to do +1 to my army. I'll resolve that in a second. And that. Then I'm going to do a shield and a sword together to do a wild. I want to get a priest so I can level up my might or my wisdom again. So I'll go there. Which means now there's only 3 spots left to defeat that monster. 1 will get me a rune. 2 more will get the little usurp thing. Now, I have unfortunately used up all my combat cards. And, oh, wait a second. Oh, that's right. I got to survive another round because you can only run away instead of fighting. So if I just totally go crazy here, I'll really be in a bad way. So let's not put down the second spear, I guess. Or let's even, you know what, I'd thrown away the axe, right? Let's throw away a spear instead. Then I can use the axe and the shield for the wild, and the spear and the bow. And then the sword with 3 defense, because I still want to get the priest. The sword with 3 defense will be the one that I save. Might not be enough to block anyway. We'll see what happens. All right, so now he's going to randomly play one of the 4 cards he drew. Oh, that doesn't look good. Rampage. Oh, God. Deal injuries to all attributes without injuries. And yeah, I definitely can't block. Although, interestingly, if I played the sword, it would be a 3, and then my wisdom is a 2, I would get to draw 2 cards from the weak spot. So I think I'll do that. So I'm basically trading 1 card for 3. So I'm blocking with the sword, even though it's not enough. I think I can block, even though it's not enough. I am getting 2 more injuries. And I think, oh crud, does my thing only heal me if I successfully hunt? Yeah. Oh no, after any hunt. So even though it's called Victory Feast, I don't have to actually be victorious. Okay, the monster gets 2 more cards. So, you know, if I was able to, I could fight them a little bit longer. I did the weak spot, so I get to draw 2 myself. Shield and axe, perfect time for me to say I'm stopping. So I'll be back up to my max combat hand size anyway. They aren't necessarily the cards I want to finish the guy off. I still haven't seen any of those cross swords, but we're good. And the entire monster attack deck gets shuffled back together because it acts as a timer in each fight. All right, after my hunt, I'm going to heal an injury. I'll definitely heal my my might because that's the only one that actually is above basic value. Or actually, you know what? Maybe not. I think I'm going to heal my wisdom because I'm going to use the priest to get +1 wisdom on my next turn. And then I can hold like a 3rd combat card or get a 3rd rune or something like that. All right, not the best fight, not the worst. Okay. Rolling the 2s again. So they're going to do a prepare action. Oh, but first, they have no priest. They have no runes. Oh, wait, actually, they do. And they're teleporting to space 3, which is their shrine or temple place. Oh, they actually got 2 runes. So first is form an alliance, and yes, they can. It's going to be this one. Normally, they'd have to be adjacent, but they're within an extra space. And I think it gets them a combat card just like I get one, because they're the first one to go here. And then they can't activate a monster because that costs 2. They can't upgrade an army because that costs 2. But they did spend at least 1, so they don't get anything else. Okay, then they're going to do their maneuver. 4 strength. Yeah, it's the only one they can do. So this guy's going to go over here, which does mean they've completely conquered 1 land. That's going to flip 1 Ragnarok thing. So only have 2 temples built, though, so we won't get 1 from that. So I think we might only flip 1 the next time we go. Then they're doing the prepare action. Ah, this is kind of a bummer. Because they're going on top of me, which means I can get a free room, but I haven't upgraded my wisdom yet, so I already have the max 2. Now, I could get another one and then like change the type, but I don't care. All right, so they get 2 more runes, and it's always 2 combat cards, yeah. All right, that was it for... Oh, right. They don't have at least 3 temples, and this one gets shuffled back in, but it's after we pick the new one, so they can't get this exact card again. Or I should say they can't get this exact card again immediately. Ooh, a build temple. They definitely want to do that. All right, at the start of my turn, I'm going to get 1 more wisdom. It's the only one that doesn't give me any other bonus, but I think it's the best thing to get. Because I have any chance of beating Loki... I mean, I don't know. Well, I can't go on might. That's what I really should say. Both the might spaces are already filled, so that's the really important thing. But now I can hold 3 runes and 3 combat cards at a time. Okay, next. Do I want to move my hero? I think I'll just heal an injury is my option for that. Yeah, and flip my might back to 3, because that's the only one that matters. And then, yes, okay, good. So I can bring this guy in, which gives me control of that region. Hopefully they don't murder me. Well, I guess they're strong guys too far away to attack me. And now because I control this area, I get the card connected to it, which is Mjolnir. Use it at the start of your turn to draw 1 combat card. Very important for me trying to fight and hunt some people. And that is exhausted once when I use it, and it doesn't come back until somebody builds a monument. All right, now which action do I want to do? I could just actually build the monument now, because I would get another priest to level up with immediately since I'm the one calling it. I mean, I can't build a temple. Mobilize. I don't really care about fighting right now if I'm really going hard against the monster. Usurp I can't do because I already control that place. Reinforcement will get me a level 2 army because my authority stat is so low. So yeah, quite honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and build a monument before they can. Because I like that they didn't get a chance to build a temple. Although, do they even have a place where they can build a temple? They don't yet. All right, so yeah. Oh, wait a second. I didn't do a rune action. But you know what? I kind of don't want to, because if I can get the third type, an action you can take with all 3 types is to increase one of your attributes, which could really pump my might up. Because if I'm ever actually going to kill Loki, I need to be way stronger. Because look at this. He needs... it's ridiculous. Each of these is a double, so he needs 2 different types of attacks. So that's 10, and you got to kill him in one go. You can't run away when he's like half dead and then come back and fight him again. He's ridiculous, yeah. All right, so we have to build the next monument. Let's build Thor's feet. Because at level 1, whenever you go there, you not only build up your might by 1, but you get a combat card. So I should be able to, you know, like, I don't know, maybe like not use the hammer and go in and fight and then like get my combat cards back quickly for another hunt with that. All right, now Ragnarok. Yes, all the blue regions are controlled by the blue player. No monsters slain. 2 temples built. They're up to 4 authority, not 5. No fully built monument. Good. We don't want it to be Ragnarok yet. Because we need to do like 1 monster action to finish off Grendel, hopefully. And then build up and do a whole separate action to kill Loki. I mean, like I said, the game, in my experience, tends to go to Ragnarok more often than you get one of the instant win conditions. All right, and all the priests go away. All of these go away. The forges get refreshed. And hooray me, because I control a temple and I'm the one who called it. I get a priest. They get nothing. I love it. And also if I control any forges. I don't. They do, but again, they don't get it because they didn't call the action. Okay, and I got to do an event. We're placing the next Y. Oh, they're both on the boards. Nothing happens. Okay, then we're activating. There are none of those. So just Huldra is the only one with that symbol. Then Loki's going to move. And Huldra's all the way over here. She's neutral, so I roll for it. And I can choose to have her move or activate. On her activation, she boosts by 1 an army in her space or adjacent. So sure, even though like it does kind of make her potentially coming to kill me, I'll put her next to my own people for the choice that I have. And then Loki's popping to 13, which I guess does actually matter if I'm theoretically going to try to kill him, although I don't think it'll be too soon. All right, and that is it. Let's see what these guys do. All right, I'm going to activate some monsters. Not sure if I'm going to enjoy that. We'll see. Oh, crud. I think Grendel's going to, like, kick me out of... Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Darn it. Got to kill that guy. All right, but anyway, let's actually do the turn. So they have no priest to place. Can they get a rune? I'm guessing they can. That's 2 away. No, actually, they can't. Cool. All right, so then they teleport to 6, which is... Oh, my gosh. I'm glad they're not usurping, because that's my temple place. Okay, and then... What rune actions? Upgrade an army. They can do. That costs 2. And then form an alliance. I think they can do. But let's do the army first. It says they upgrade the army adjacent to the most regions not controlled by the follower. This one's adjacent to 2 regions not controlled by them. This one, 1. Oh, 1. So this guy's going up to a 5. I don't love that. Just going to keep on trolling through the world. Okay, they wanted to know if they could form an alliance. And, oh yes, they can do this one. Because, again, they are 1 further away, but that's all they need. That is the first one, so they get a combat card. Wait, at 8. Nope, they're at 7. Yikes. All right, and then, oh yeah, no question about it. They can conquer a place with a shrine buildable temple thing. Now, man, if they build that temple, and if I kill Grendel, Ragnarok will trigger. Yeah, I don't understand how you can go quick enough to beat the game before Ragnarok happens. But hey, you know, whatever. They're doing monster. So I'm going to get a free level 1 army. Woo! Not that impressive. Any place I control. They're about to kick me out of there. Let's go over here. I don't control very much, do I? Just guard my my temple or my shrine a little bit more. So normally for the player monster, if you don't actually hunt somebody, then you activate 2 different monsters of your choice. The automa activates 1 monster, but then places one of the desolation tokens. And they always prefer their own, so Grendel is kicking my 5 guys out of here. I mean, it's not that big a deal. They can just move in again because I'm still there. It does mean that I can't use Mjolnir at the start of my coming turn because I don't have it anymore. So slightly annoying. And then, yeah, they're also going to put this down up here in a spot they control. So 2 more of those and I lose. But if I ever get these guys in there for just a regular activation, I can kick it out because your strength needs to match the lowest numbers. Right now, just a 3 strength army could, as an activation, kick one of these out. And if you do it when it's a 4 or a 5, then you also get a free blessing card, which is nice. All right, and that was another throwaway card. So I don't want them to build a temple. Please don't let them build the temple. I mean, whatever. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, these are all special cards. But yeah, hopefully that reinforce happens. That'll just bring out another army. It'll be a big army, but hey, I can deal with that. Okay, it's back to Beowulf's turn. Gonna build up Might and get a free combat card that will get me to my max of 3. I'm definitely ready to fight. So there we go, right on Thor there. Yeah, no question about it. Like, I'm really just kind of focusing in on here. I'm going to go ahead and give them a free rune. Oh, sorry. I'm skipping a lot of my turn. Hold on. I will not move since I'm already on Grendel, and that'll heal me. I'm not going to do a rune action because, again, I want to get one more and build up my might more. Oh, wait a second. I forgot to actually increase my might. That's a smart thing to do, Mike. Do the thing that's awesome for you. Okay, and then I'm going into... Oh, no, that's right. I get to activate first. So let's get Mjolnir again. See you kick me out this time, buddy. When you're dead, you won't be able to. Okay, yeah, and then, now that I've actually done my turn, I'm going to hunt. So I've got 3 cards. I will go ahead and use Beowulf's Power to get to 4 as it's starting. And then I'm drawing 4 more. So I'll have 8 cards for 4 health spots, plus however many more I draw. Seems like hopefully it'll be enough. Do I have any double swords? Come on. Okay, ooh, that's all I need. And I have enough spears. Okay, beautiful. So we can definitely kill him on the first chance we get to fight, which means I just need to face their first attack, their only attack. And it is vicious. Oh, that's the same one, right? Okay, so this is pretty easy. I can just do a 2, and with my wisdom of 3, if I block for 3, I have to draw 2 more cards. Big 3 blocks. I do, but it's the special ones. So yeah, I'm just going to block with, yeah, I guess if I block for 3, I'll draw 2 cards. Yes, okay, I'll block with a shield and an axe for 3. And with my new 3 wisdom, that's enough to hit their weak point and get 2 more cards. Okay, I got another axe and shield, fine. I guess that worked out. And then, okay, so spear, cross sword. I'm actually going to have 1 combat card too many and have to throw 1 away. But I get a free rune. I'll get the type I don't have, which means I can level up an attribute as my thing next time. And I'll get the Grendel's Arm to boost my usurps. Again, not sure if I'll ever use it. And then which of these do I want to get rid of? So Loki needs, let's look. Nothing going to fight him immediately, but I want to kind of do it sort of soon. So 2 spears, 2 cross swords, 3 axes, only 1 sword, and 2 bows. So like axes are kind of better. And I mean, shields are nice for blocking. 2 spears, 2 bows, but the bow lets you like draw. And there's a bow axe space. Okay, so I'll get rid of the spear. And nice thing is, my victory feast means I heal what I hurt. And I've defeated the first monster, so I'm now eligible to fight Loki. Good luck. And also, this guy can't kick me out of that space anymore. Yay. All right. And I'll level up next turn to 5 might, I guess. Or should I up my wisdom? I don't even know. All right, now come on. Do not build a temple. Just don't build a temple. Then I can just build the monument again on my very next turn. That's what I want to do. Come on now. Okay, beautiful. Reinforce. Totally cool with that. So what are we doing? Okay, I don't know why I put the rune up here. So they don't have a priest. Can they get a rune? Yes, I won't show up, but they're on that very spot. Teleporting to 15. Down here. Okay, and they can form an alliance with Jotunheim. That lets you increase one of your armies by 1. Oh, and they get their 8th combat card because they're the first one there. Okay, and then they have 1 left. Activate monster costs 2. Control monster, they are too far away. They do get a bonus from blessings and artifacts that let them go farther, but they're still too far. Draw combat cards cost 2, so they're done. All right, now their activation. This guy's got 5 strength, so he can go basically wherever he wants. So both of these are invadable. Let me see what his preference is. Okay, he wants places with a temple already built first, places that could have a temple second. What's that one mean? Oh, then it's a lowest difficulty. Ooh, so they're like circling around to murder me here. How many lands do they have controlled? Still just 1. Okay, so they got that. Fine. Then they're doing that reinforce action, which activates Alfheim, which they have. I think this is the first time they've done this. And if I remember correctly, they get either a rune or a combat card, which they have less of. So they don't actually care what the realm bonus really is. And then their authority is 4, so they get to reinforce a 4-person straight in. Okay, and then they want to be closest to a player-controlled region where they have a settlement. So here or here would both be fine because they have settlements in both of those. And then the lower defense value, okay, so they definitely want to be here because that 5 is hard to invade. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter unless I attack them. The 5 and the 4 there is pretty redundant. And it does not control 3 or more regions with temples. Thank God it doesn't. So that's trashed. And their build temple is now their most likely one. And then usurp. Ooh, I don't necessarily love that. Yeah, no question about it. I'm definitely going to this turn build another monument because they're about to build a temple, and that would trigger Ragnarok if I wait to do it. Whereas if I do it right now, Ragnarok won't be triggered, and I'll have like a whole chance to fight Loki. At least that's what I'm thinking. So since I'm going to do that, I might as well use Thor's hammer at the start of my turn just to see if I get a card I like better. Okay, so Loki has cross sword axe bow. So since they have double cross sword axe, I feel like that's a really important one to get. And still, I really like the idea of having a shield to block, especially with bow being so weak. Okay, those will be my 3 cards for now. And then I kind of feel like maybe I do wisdom up for my rune action. Oh, that's right, I gotta heal or move my hero first. Although, the bummer is I want to move towards Loki, but he's not going to be there in a second. I have no idea where he's going to teleport. So I guess being kind of central where I am now is fine, so I'll just stay where I am. Yeah, and for my rune action, I'm definitely going to level up 1 attribute. And yeah, so what I'm kind of thinking is Wisdom is not only going to let me potentially bring an extra combat card into combat, but it's going to make it that much easier for me to hit the weak points, like maybe with 1 card blocking and get 2 cards back, which in a protracted battle like it's going to be against Loki might be more important than just getting a single card once. Yeah, so I think I am going to bump up Wisdom. And then maybe like after I do the thing, I can build up Thor's statue and get like a bunch more combat cards and have more might. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, now for my activation for my big army, I'll just go ahead and get rid of this. I only needed 3 strength because it's going on the 3 spot, which means I don't get a free blessing, sadly. And then, yeah, gonna build a monument. And you have to have at least 1 thing on there to do that, but I do, which will free up my monster spot. That's the main one I'm worried about. Yeah, I think I'm going to build up Thor's body. His head's not there yet, so this will now give 2 combat cards when you go there. There we go, looking pretty awesome. My priest comes off, but I'll get another one since I have a shrine. And once again, we're going to refill these, and I don't control any of them. Definitely not going for control this game. Mjolnir recharges. That actually does matter because I can hold more combat cards now. Okay, the really important thing, 1 slain monster, but 2 temples, 4 attribute, even for me. Oh, it's another reason I'm glad that I didn't increase my my might. I wasn't even thinking about that. And yeah, Thor is not quite finished. He's missing his head. I know we do have to do an event card. Hopefully no whammies here. Okay, we can actually place the Draugr this time, like undead guy. There he is, and there he is. And he's going to spot 6. Not necessarily where I want him. Then the ends are going to activate, which is just Huldra. So if I get lucky, she'll boost one of my own armies. And then just Fafnir, which is mine. I'm fine with all of this. Oh, and then Loki will teleport. Hopefully close. Hopefully close. He has a Huldra I don't control, but if I roll the little fire for an activation or an attack, beautiful, I can choose to have her boost an army up to 1 away. So I'll make this 3 into a 4. Not that battle is my main thing. And then, ooh, nice, Fafnir. So he can either do 2 damage to an army in his space or move 1 and stomp. So he'll stomp. Let's see. Ooh, I don't like them being able to get into that 5 spot. So let's stomp both of them down to a 4 so that no matter who they attack with, they won't be too strong. Good job, Fafnir. Okay, and then Loki, where are you going? 1. Okay, not the worst. Ooh, can I get there? 1, 2, 3. No. I'll go with my boat. 1, 2. No, it's all the same. Okay. Crud. My boat was here. I could go like 1, 2. Darn it. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it might be fine. I don't really know if it's fine. All right. We're back to our friend over here. Whoa, where are you going? Okay. Did get the build temple they wanted. Thank God they got it now. Okay. So they don't have a priest. See if they can get one of these. Yes, they're adjacent to that one. And they're jumping to 13. You can just see the corner of it over here. Okay. Okay, they want to control a monster. Okay. Oh, yeah, they can definitely do that. The Draugr is sitting on these, so that'll cost them 2. What's he do? They don't control him, so they'll have to roll for it. But if they get the attack region, all heroes in the region with the Draugr and all adjacent regions are dealt 1 injury. That wouldn't actually affect me. So maybe they wouldn't do that? Oh, yeah, the Draugr... Oh, if he gets a like movement, he could kill my 1 strength guy there. Or if he got a movement for her, he could kill the 1 strength guy, but otherwise he would have to boost one of my armies. So this might be the first time we've done this. We check the tiebreaker. The Min, the lower region. So she's in 9 and Draugur's in 6. Okay, so they're activating the Draugr and hoping to get a walk because then they could actually hurt me. And they did. All right, so they're going to... I still control that place for the moment, although I'm pretty sure they're going to come in and steal it. Okay, then they don't want to draw combat cards, and they don't have enough anyway. They would need 2 runes, but they already have 8 cards, and they can't recruit an army. That would also cost 2. So that's it for runes. So now they're going to do an activation. And I think they actually want to attack me here. because I have a temple, right? And yeah, with them having like a billion combat cards, they're certainly not going to be scared of me. So yeah, they're definitely coming in here. So they've got a 5 to start because they have the 1 blessing card. I have 5, so we are starting out tied. But they've only got 2 wisdom though. Would they attack me? They'd have to be beating my score of 5, which with 5 with a +1 from the blessing, 2 more from the combat cards, yes, they'd be at 7. Okay, so they do think they can win. I don't think they can win. Oh, I only have 3 combat cards. That's right. I'm about to draw 2 from Thor and 1 from Mjolnir potentially. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I would rather them not get the temple if I can help it. So I play one first, and currently they are winning by nothing. So currently we're tied. What do I want to do? So this is 1 casualty. Gain 1 battle if the hero's in the same land. No. Gain +2 battle if you're the attacker. No. And I really wanted to keep those. Let's just do the shield and cancel some casualties, I guess, for now. So that gets me to 6. And they play their first of 2 cards, which is an X. And that's right, they don't pay attention to anything. So they go up to 7. All right, darn it, let's do the cross sword, I guess. So that puts me to 4 + 5, 9 versus 7. And they, oh no, are you serious? They get to 10. So if I don't play my last card, they will kick me out of there. And they will be strong enough to take it over after taking their 1 casualty. But if I do this, I'm only going to go up to, what, like 3 combat cards? And then they could just attack the very next turn. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, I'll beat them. So they take a single casualty. They are down 2 cards, but I'm not sure if that matters. I would have taken 3 casualties, but my shield prevented 2 of them, so I don't know. I feel like that was maybe a mistake, but so it goes. Okay, we're going to do, they're going to do build temple, and where was it? All the way up here. This is the 3rd temple. We're going to do another blessing draft, and when they are the one who triggers a blessing draft, they also get to put out a desolation token, which is going to end up there. So they take a random one, leaving me 1 more to look at. They're now boosted even more. Sorry, I should have 2. What am I talking about? Ooh, famous hunter. At the beginning of your hunt, draw an amount of combat cards equal to your authority instead of might. That would have been cool if I was going for that. Or Call of Valhalla. When applying casualties, draw 1 combat card for each combat card with a casualty you play during this battle. That would have been great if I'd had it, but I'll definitely take that one. All right, so that does have 3 temples on the board, which means Ragnarok will definitely trigger when one of us does this, which means I have 2 potential monster phases to try to kill Loki before the game ends. Oh, and crud, the follow increases the value of all its armies and regions with a temple or shrine by 1, which boosts both these guys to 3. They're in play. Not sure I like that. All right, and that slides down, and they get double usurp. Interesting. Now it comes to me. Putting out a priest. I'm going to go on Thor. Get my might up to 5. Gets me 2 combat cards. Ooh, that's good. Those are the ones that I need like a combo for, right? I guess I might as well use Mjolnir to get another one. So that's 3. So that's good. If I think I'm going to take the prepare action to get another card, and that will give me my max of 4. So yeah, let's go. Doesn't matter. I'll go here. Ooh, actually, this would be a tool and slow them down. Let's go here. Because I got this fun Grendel arm, might as well use it. I'll take the usurp action. Oh no, that's right. I wanted to get more combat cards. So as fun as that would be to kick them out of their temple area, I am going to prepare, and nobody's there. That's good, because usurp would have actually given them more cards. So I'll get a 4th combat card, my max, and it seems less likely to matter, but I guess I'll get a rune. Oh wait, I didn't do, I can't boost them up. What should I do? I can't boost him either, so I can just like move somebody, or, yeah, I don't know. I guess I won't do any maneuver. All right, we're going to try fighting Loki in a second. So, oh, they're usurping. So know that, did they get this? Nope. Oh, yes, they are next to this one. All right, and then they're going to, is that 3? Back down to here. And control a monster. They might actually be close enough now with 2 blessings. That means they have like 3 range, basically. 1, 2, nope. Never mind. So do they want to draw combat cards? Yes, they will draw back to 8. All right, they are loaded back up again. Now they want to maneuver. And yeah, their big priority, of course, is to come back in here. So we're 4 versus 4. I'm not going to use any combat cards. Actually, no, we're 6 versus 4. I have to say what I'm doing first. So I pass, and both of these guys take 1 damage. Well, actually, that's right. Hold on. For each card I play with a casualty, I get to draw a replacement. And Loki sucks for swords. So hold on, I'm not running away yet. What is that? 3 and 1? I think it was a 3 and 1. So yeah, I'll play my sword. Gain +1 battle value if your authority is equal to... No, it's definitely not. Okay, so just a 3. That gets me to 4, 7 versus 6. Really just doing this for card draw. Oh, and they get +3 against me, so they're at a lot. And I like my other 2 cards that cause casualties. So I'm going to let them win there. I'll pass. They'll stop because they're already winning. Okay, so I take a casualty to each army, then I have to take another one from my card. Then this guy has to run away to there. They take one casualty, so they do still have enough to capture the temple, which means they have 3. If they built another one, they would win immediately. I don't think they have a place where they can do that yet. Now, if they go there, they can get it. Wait, why do I have put an extra temple here for some reason? Yes, what new card do? Ooh, a shield. I like that as a combo start. Then we get 5 cards. I still don't think I can beat Loki. This seems crazy, but we'll see what happens. And then their actual action was usurp. So they only have 3 might. Oh, they're here? Oh, they might not be able to do anything, which means they're going to switch to prepare, I think. Yeah, so it's their region or adjacent, but they're not strong enough for that, and they have everywhere else. Then they would go to their priority. They can't pick build temple. Would they do prepare? Yes. If it has 6 or more runes and 8 combat cards, it's unavailable, but otherwise, so it's going to get 1 combat card to its max of 8, and 2 runes. And ooh, I get a free rune. Okay. I think 2 rune action is to teleport your hero anywhere. So, like, if I don't beat Loki and I want to try one more chance, I could theoretically teleport after him. Okay, and there Usurp gets trashed, and a upgraded build temple comes out. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can win. So I don't have any priest to put down. I can't pick up a rune. I'm gonna move here. I'm not going to use any runes because all I can do is teleport my hero, draw a combat card, and I'm at my max. So we go to maneuver, and I guess I'll boost this guy up. And here we go. Monster. I get to place a level 1 fighter. Let's try to protect that temple place they can build. And it's Loki battle time. You know what, Ragnar? Get out of here for a second. We need to have some mano-a-mano action going here. All right, so here's Loki. Did I not use Mjolnir? Maybe I didn't? I don't know. Either way, I don't need it now because I'm at max already. I can not for the life of me find my combat cards, so I think I got them now. I'll just kind of splay them since they tend to be the same thing. I get 5 more for my might. Okay. I see some good combos already. So here we go. Remember, this is the timer. It's totally random what they play against me, so this could be terrible or great. So here we go. Attack 1. Oh, that's right. I got to pick. Monster draws 2 cards. That part's good. So here, we'll put discards over there. The 5/5, Nasty Wound. The hunting player decreases a chosen attribute by 1. That's interesting, because I don't have to block it fully. I can just let them decrease. I mean, on either of these, I don't care about. So yeah, I think I need a single sword and a bow. I don't even have a bow right now. I have 1 more of, like, the knives than I need. Although the knives block for a lot. But okay, if I block with a knife, that's 3, so I'll decrease my max stuff, I guess. I don't know. So I didn't block it, but 3 plus... Oh, wait. No, I don't want to decrease that, because that'll affect all of my weak points. So I'll decrease my might, because I've already drawn for that. So 3 plus 4 is definitely at least 7. So I'll get 2 more combat cards. Oh, crud, I'm getting too many of some... Oh, actually, I do need 3 axes. So that was good. Okay, so that's gone, and they get 2 more cards. That's 4 out of 14. So I still have a while. Okay. Got double spear. I've got dagger's axe. Boom. Dagger's axe again. Boom. Oh, this is actually going better than I thought. I got sword, and I could do axe or spear and shield, but it seems a little foolhardy. Let's take another attack, I think. Okay. So here we go. One of their 2 attacks. 3 cards. Ooh, God. Mighty attack, deal 2 injuries, which I could just bring my might and my authority down, wouldn't hurt me at all. If I wanted to get 2 extra cards instead of only 1, I would have to play 4 worth of stuff, or I could just play my shield. But no, I'm just going to take it. All right, so they could get 3 more cards. 4 and 3 is 7. That's halfway through their deck. I get to draw a single combat card. Crud, it's a sword. Crud. Okay, so I kind of don't want to attack yet, because I could do sword, shield, spear, to get that one. And then I'd have the axe for if I draw a bow. But I think I want to be ready for another block. Block big, get 2 draw, hopefully get some bows, and then I could win this. All right, so... Oh, no, I don't draw those. So he's doing one of these 3, and it is... Okay, he's drawing 3 more cards. Oh, it's a 3/8. Fury. If the hero already has an injury, the hunt immediately ends. So I have to block this. And if I block with 2 cards... So I don't need 2 swords. And I do need the axe. I don't need the spear. So let's do this. That's 5. So that will be enough with my wisdom. So I block completely. I'm drawing 2 cards. Come on, if I get Bobo. That's not... Oh my gosh. Okay, and he gets 3 more cards. Crud, y'all. Crud. There's 4 cards left. Shoot. Okay. I can't really use anything because I need something else with a shield. Okay, but at least I can block easily. Okay, so I'm just what is he playing? What is it? Rampage. Deal injuries to all attributes without injuries. And he's drawn 2 cards, which will leave us with 2 left. Does the combat end immediately when they draw? I got to check that real quick. No, okay, you check at the beginning of the round if it's empty. So they've got their 2 cards for the next round, which means I've got 2 rounds left, pretty much. All right, so a 5. It would deal injuries to all attributes without injuries. I really don't want to lose that. So if I can play a 3, I could just play a single shield and draw 1 card. I could play like all 3 shields and draw 2 cards, but that seems stupid. Yeah, so let's block it with a single shield. Okay. Yes, okay. Calm down, Mike. Now, the cool thing is if I use a bow, I get to draw a card and then discard a card. So, okay. So do I attack right now? I think I do. Okay, so I'm gonna do the axe. Okay, so I'm doing the axe and the bow. So I do that. No, that one. Okay, and I get to draw a card and then discard a card. Okay. So the spear can become... Oh, wait. Does this work? Does this freaking work? Oh, my gosh. Spear. Instead of dealing a wound with a spear, you may use it with the shield. Yes. Okay, you are dead. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've won the game out of like 6 plays. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Jeez Louise. All right. That was Lords of Ragnarok. I'm going to play it a few more times, solo and competitive, and then do a review coming up in like the next week or 2. But yeah, that was exciting. Good finish. Playing on the easiest difficulty setting. Clearly the automa, if they had like built temples a bit more aggressively, would have triggered Ragnarok early and I never would have won. But cool. I'm glad I won. Good job, Beowulf. So thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.